Thanks again, stranger. I won't forget what you've done for me.
Unnecessary observation. Targets acquired. Annoying recitation. Let us proceed to facilitate communications. Recitation. And bring about the termination of hostilities. Spelling master. Spelling master.
Yes.
Kuinka kiliput malia nuis? Bot malia lechona chichiska una corda saboraco. Bogra kinun chubagra wikele Johnny. Wichibola no. Chichiska bola. Tapicha Ebon. Yun bola. Bogra kinun chubagra wikele Johnny. Wichibola no. Nihun kagratuk jimut malia bist white wata. Jiji naudun chong yomabola human. Jichis kabola. Tapicha Ebon. Yun bola.
Just say the word.
Yes.
Unnecessary observation. Targets acquired. Annoying recitation. Let us proceed to facilitate communications. Recitation. And bring about the termination of hostilities. Spelling master.
Why are you here?
Because I told her. Told her everything.
Ah, and now you are free.
Yeah, so no more threats, no more of your requests. You and me, we're done.
Did you ever think I truly held you? You're more of a fool than I thought. What truly held you was you, and let me show you why. I once held the galaxy by the throat, as you once held her by the throat and let her die slowly. And your emotion at that point is what you fear. I wielded power like you cannot imagine. Everything I saw was awash with possibilities, spreading outwards, touching everything else. I saw all of that, all that the Force is. And only when it was ripped from me did I truly see it. And I know what lies buried within you, that you hide with your desperate thoughts, your guilt, your lusts. I can unlock that part of you anytime I wish. It is a simple thing, the human mind. Once it feels something strongly, it becomes etched in the memory, the subconscious. Shall I show you? That part of you that hungered to kill Jedi, that took pleasure from it? Or perhaps you will continue to listen to my counsel, and I shall ignore your pathetic attempts at freedom. Now leave me, murderer. I have nothing further to say to one such as you. My life for yours.
I am prepared for whatever you wish to teach me. I understand now. I shall practice what you have taught me. My life. I am prepared both in mind and body for your teachings. I understand now. Such a form will increase my skills and my use to you. My life. I will answer what I...
Yes, General? Sorry, General, I'm flat out. Something else I...
Diagnostic. HK-47 activated. Running checks through primary systems. Assessment. It appears I have suffered considerable damage and dismemberment. I can feel all the cracks in my motivators. And my central control cluster seems to have taken several repeated blaster shots at close range. How crude. Answer. I do not know, Master. It is curious that I was here, although this place does seem familiar. Extrapolation. Perhaps someone was already in the process of rebuilding me. It may be I was needed for some task. Answer. It seems you would know more than I. My memory centers are experiencing some setbacks. Reflection. Of course, for some reason, that does not alarm me. I suspect I have suffered such repeated memory failures before. Still, the loss of my higher combat and assassination protocols is shameful and degrading. Recitation. Yes, as I said, I am an assassin droid. It is my primary function to burn holes through meat bags that you wish removed from the galaxy. Master, oh, how I hate that term. Answer. No, Master. I said it again. Answer. Yes, Master. HK-47 is ready to serve. Statement. Master, I must say it is a pleasure to be working side by side with you. Statement. Just when I believe my photoreceptors have recorded the last potential aspect of your cruelty to my memory core, you commit a new atrocity that leaves me analyzing its impact for days. You are like a delightful random cruelty generator, Master, poisoning all you touch with your presence. You are a testament to all organic meatbags everywhere. Statement. I have already learned a great deal, Master, and I am anxious to learn more of lying, betrayal, and new ways to harm innocence. Statement. Ah, you wish to conduct an interrogation? Very well, proceed. Statement. Master, I am no behavior droid, but it is obvious to me that you have serious ethical problems that will need to be treated at some point. Very well. Ask your questions. If you feel the need to make it an interrogation, however, do not restrain yourself. I would be saddened if you held back. Answer. Oh, that is impossible, Master. If I were out to kill you, we would not be speaking. And regardless, I am a unique model. Why, to think that there would be other versions of me would be unacceptable. Statement. Master, I must inform you that your attempts at humor are wasted on a droid such as I. As I have expressed, I am unique. Resignation. Very well, Master. If you persist in your attempts at humor, I shall indulge you. Let me check the ship's records, and we will settle this matter once and for all. Conclusion. You speak the truth. This discovery is also causing me some degree of anger and humiliation. Mockery. Am I all right? Oh, yes, Master. Why, I am fine. Statement. I mean, I've only just been reactivated, only to find that there are substandard duplicates of me running all over the galaxy, corroding my good name. But if they are in fact hunting you, then I look forward to the opportunity to meet these units and educate them in proper assassination protocols. Conclusion. So it seems I need you, for the time being. Statement. Ah, yes, them. Very well. What did you wish to know? Answer. Master, I do not know. I have tried in vain to find it, but so far the location of the factory churning out these copies has eluded me. Statement. I have no idea, Master. Statement. Oh no, Master, surely you are mistaken. I would never malfunction in such a way on purpose. Prompt. Do you understand me? I have no idea. It certainly isn't a matter of it being locked in my memory core and being unable to communicate it to others. Answer. I fear that any such information that exists would only come out when a certain sequence of events takes place. That is why I am eager to encounter more of these clones in the hopes that something clicks that allows me to finally pull the trigger. Statement. What of them? Statement. Master, there are 2 reasons for this. 1. The probability of them showing up around you is statistically high. If I travel with you, then my chances of encountering these clones is also high. The second reason is a little more complicated. You see, even though those clones are obviously cheap, artless imitations of me, well, they are still me. Answer. Somehow these droids are built from my schematics. This causes certain complications. Answer. Because of my self-preservation program, my behavior core recognizes these templates as still being me, despite their individuality. I could no more shoot them than I could shoot myself. It is a frustrating situation that has been looping through my behavior core for some time. Statement. Statement. Master, that is a question that has an extremely complicated answer. You see, I do not believe my master knew who she was most of the time, which led to some confusing situations that could have otherwise been avoided. Clarification. Suffice to say that my master had her ups and downs, and in my opinion, traveled from a high point in her life to a low point, and then back again to her true potential. She could be a merciless, efficient killer when the need arose. It really made my behavior core glow. And even as a meatbag, my master still had some remarkably efficient droid-like qualities which I admired. She too suffered memory problems, as I did. Statement. Oh yes, Master. As indicated upon my reassembly, my central control cluster is damaged, making recalling my previously stored assassination protocols difficult. I hope that over time I shall eventually reach the status and skill I possessed before I was damaged. Recollection. The last thing I remember is having my core wiped from the last 5 years. I believe my master was responsible. Answer. Even with my memory impairment, I recall that my master was about to embark on a dangerous journey. Conjecture. I believe there was something about my master's destination that she did not wish me to know. Answer. I am somewhat disappointed that my master did not choose to take me along, of course. Wherever my master traveled, destruction and death were assured. Speculation, but I suspect I was not the only one left behind. So there is some satisfaction that the disrespect was spread through the rest of her whiny, simpering meatbag allies. Statement. Oh yes, my master had quite the collection of tortured individuals that seemed unable to confront their basic personality conflicts. Let me cite some specific examples. Mockery.
Oh, Master! I do not trust you! I cannot trust you or anyone ever again!
Conclusion. Such pheromone-driven human responses never cease to decrease the charge in my capacitors and make me wish I could press a blaster pistol to my behavior core and pull the trigger. I am pleased that this does not seem to be the case with your current entourage. Statement. Yes, well, enough of that painful stroll through what remains of my memories. Was there something else you wish to know? State. Answer. No, Master, I do not. I am afraid I have been out of touch with the Sith for many years. This new Sith threat fights differently than the ones I was familiar with. These seem to favor stealth and assassination to achieve their ends. Answer. No, Master. The Sith had many hidden bases and strongholds before and during the Jedi Civil War, and I doubt the Republic found them all. Theory. It is possible that the Sith still hold one such base, if not several. Consolation. But I would not worry, Master. I imagine it will not be long before their murderous hands try to seize you by the throat. Twi'lek metaphor. Jonta bosi likita masisoringada untamiasa grawino rutu. Query. Master, excuse me. One thing I have noticed as we travel the galaxy, you seem to possess the ability to understand a variety of alien languages. Forgive me, but that does not seem in keeping with my assessment of your talents. Query. May I see it? Observation. This is indeed familiar. Indeed, it seems to be modeled after my vocabulator, with some modifications, of course. Curious. You say you obtained this device on Paragus. Observation. Master, I do believe this device serves multiple functions, including tracking your position for any HK units in the vicinity. Confirmation. Yes, Master, I believe so. Of course, we would need to find 3 separate HK squads and use this device in order to target their base. Answer. Master, the nature of the signal from the sonic imprint sensor is such that we must wait until it is signaled. It does not please me any more than it does you, but one of the primary traits of an assassin or assassin droid is patience. Statement. More questions. Wonderful. Theory. Well, Master, I believe I was shot repeatedly. Once reduced to my component parts, I suspect pieces of me were sold across the galaxy. Statement. I am an extremely valuable piece of equipment after all, Master. My parts were no doubt costly to obtain, and their new owners hesitant to part with them. Statement. There is no need to hide your embarrassment over the high price I commanded, Master. I will be worth every credit, despite my apparent memory damage, crippled assassination protocols, and the small amount of rust that decorates my frame. Regardless, please bear in mind that I am quite an asset, and that you would be well advised to take good care of me. Statement. Statement. Master, you wound me. Not physically, but in my behavior core. It is true that I once possessed many more protocols and upgrades, but time and damage has taken its toll. And I am afraid that I have a rather long history of memory problems, which has also compromised my effectiveness as well. Still, you will find me a valuable asset, Master, willing and able to terminate anything you point me towards. Statement. Master, before you go, I had a question for you. Query. I must express some degree of confusion concerning your actions. You are the one who followed Revan in the Mandalorian Wars, are you not? Observation. Well, Master, I was not at Malachor 5 during your near-genocidal reaction to the Mandalorian threat, but I feel that I may have been constructed as a result of that. Observation. I believe that Revan determined that mass slaughter on such a scale may no longer be needed to achieve her aims. So perhaps you are responsible for my creation. Answer. Oh, please, Master. Even as a metaphor, that idea is repugnant. You are a gland-driven meatbag, while I am of superior droid construction. Clarification. I meant that I was built as a result of the need for a selective killing machine, rather than a crude mass slaughter war droid. Answer. No, Master. I was constructed shortly after the beginning of the Jedi Civil War. Answer. Well, Master, unless you were operating on my central control cluster, I would be somewhat hesitant to discuss my targets, but I suppose it could do no harm. During the Jedi Civil War, I was responsible for certain strategic targets. For some reason, Revan did not feel that the Republic presented much of a military threat. Aside, I am somewhat unclear as to why this was so, but Revan did have a certain biological instinct regarding such things, so I will simply say that there were probably reasons for such an assessment. Answer. Revan felt the true war was against the Jedi. Observation. It was not something discussed with much of the others, but I think Revan recognized that a single Jedi, both in the past and in the present, could turn the tide of a conflict. So my targets were frequently Jedi, or someone close to a Jedi that could result in their corruption or collapse. Revan often assigned me to kill leaders or supporters of certain Jedi so as to erode their will. Answer. Revan saw the pressures of war on Duxon and knew that even in the heat of conflict, Jedi could be broken, not physically, but psychologically. Observation. It is a curious thing to assassinate and wound someone's personality, to assassinate them psychologically, and it took me some time to reconcile the acts. I am much more used to their direct approach. Still, I served well and killed many Jedi. Request. First, Master, I would appreciate it if Jedi need to be killed, that you permit me to kill those annoying pseudo-pacifists for you. But if you are determined to do it yourself, then there are many techniques I would suggest. Recitation. First, weapon selection is critical. If I see one more idiot attacking a Jedi with a blaster pistol, then I'll kill them myself. Answer. Select grenades, sonic screamers, cluster rockets, and plasma charges. Mines are also effective, since many Jedi will run to meet you in hand-to-hand combat. Silly Jedi. Addendum. Gas attacks are effective if you can take the Jedi by surprise. Inhalation is less effective than ones that work on skin contact, as some Jedi seem to be able to hold their breath for long periods of time. Cautionary. Still, don't rely on it, since Jedi can fight off the effects. It just distracts them, leaving them open to another avenue of attack. Recitation. Do not forget to activate any energy shields you possess. Lightsabers, while powerful, have trouble penetrating most military-issue energy shields, provided they are energy shields and not those crude Mandalorian melee shields. Answer. Countering their other powers is more difficult. Confession. I do not fully understand their other abilities, but I do know that many of them require that the Jedi know that you are there and can see you. Thus, sniping and using cover are always advantageous. Evaluation. A technique that Revan used frequently was to attack a Jedi indirectly. This method only works if the Jedi is adhering to the self-destructive path of pacifism and sacrifice. Answer: kill their allies or place them in jeopardy. Many Jedi will leave themselves exposed in order to protect another. That is why there are many less Jedi than there were a decade ago. Cautionary. Oh no, Master. In fact, that is the worst thing you can do. Explanation. Statistically, over-planning the assassination of a Jedi seems to backfire. Extrapolation. There are many theorists who claim Jedi can see the future, and I do not know if that is true, but it seems impulsive acts are more common to succeed than planned incidents. Jedi, like sand kivers, seem to sense trouble a few seconds before it happens. They are tricky little pests. Answer: no, Master. In addition to traps, mines, and orbital bombardment, Revan and the Sith often employed meatbag assassins for some Jedi skilled in the same techniques that I was trained in. Strangely enough, Revan believed that meatbags that did not use or believe in the Force were especially important, since in many respects, they were more difficult for Jedi to detect. Revan had many of them trained to hide their minds, as it were. Again, once these techniques were learned, the percentage of living Jedi began to decrease accordingly. Answer: generally, this was done by broadcasting strong emotions while thinking about something else. It was a curious technique, but it seemed to be effective in blinding Jedi. Whether guilt, lust, fear, they act as mental interference, making finding the true intentions of the broadcasting meatbag difficult. Answer: obviously, a Force-sensitive broadcasting such emotions puts themselves at a risk of not using the Force properly, since to use it seems to require an inner calm that most meatbags do not possess. As much as the Jedi could not use such a technique, the Sith Lords cannot use it for much the same reasons. Such passions as guilt, lust, and fear are rarely strengths to the Sith code. Statement: the Master felt it was ironic that only people who had experienced such passions could harm Jedi in such a way that to kill Jedi, you had to be a human being. Revan found that quite amusing. Answer: the odds of me being forced to use such techniques against you has decreased, Master. There are some methods I could describe if you wish. Statement: overwhelming odds is also a good tactic, Master. There are few Jedi that can long hold their ground against 100 attackers all firing at once, or being turned on by their own troops. But the most effective weapon against Jedi seems to be the erosion of the spirit. Answer: Revan claimed that psychological warfare against Jedi was important because much of their power comes from their state of mind, their connection to this religion called the Force. Revan said that many Jedi have the capability to form connections to life around them, although few of them realize the extent to which this is possible. Recollection: I believe my master speculated that many Jedi did not fully form such connections because of their discipline, because they never opened their lives to the passions around them. I believe Revan termed it that one would need to be a human being to develop such connections. It is something that the Jedi Code could not teach. One simply knew it instinctively or not. Observation: Master, I am somewhat surprised that I need to explain this to you at all, considering your past with Revan. Answer: why, she said you had such capability, Master, but it would be your downfall. To tie so much of yourself into others, if they suffer or die, then you would die as well. Observation. I think Revan pitied you, Master. It was very insulting, if I may say so. Clarification. Whatever it is called, Master, it seems to be quite a vulnerability. Revan even admitted as such. When a Jedi or any soldier suffers doubt, it weakens them. With the Jedi, however, it is more pronounced, since they are extreme examples. That is why Revan felt that Malachor 5 was so important. It was intended to be a conversion tool. Assessment. When faced with a continuous series of hard-fought battles, I detected a significant statistical increase in Jedi following Revan over the Jedi Code, a compromise in principles brought about by battlefield conditions. The emotional weight of war changed Jedi morale, power, and eventually their allegiance. Conclusion. I believe the Mandalorian Wars were to beat the Mandalorians, and also to allow Revan to build the foundation of her army. But I am surprised you have not already arrived at this conclusion. Surely the loss of your troops and the Jedi who served under you at Malachor 5 had a detrimental effect upon you and your ties to the Force, and I suspect your desire to be around others ever again. Observation. Master, that was the lesson of Malachor. Any Jedi involved in the systematic slaughter on such a scale cannot help but doubt and question themselves. Observation. Master, I do not believe that the Mandalorians were the true target at Malachor. I believe that the intention was to destroy the Jedi, break their will, and make them loyal to Revan. I do not know if you examined the records of the deaths on Malachor, but you cannot escape that many of the Jedi and Republic soldiers who died were not Revan's strongest supporters. Observation. I believe that Revan was cleaning house at Malachor 5. What ones did not die became Revan's allies against the Republic. Answer. Oh, yes, Master. I hope none of them were friends of yours, but really, they had it coming. I do not know when the Jedi ceased to be adherents to their code, but many did not tread cautiously, and many were quite arrogant when facing a droid, as if we were somehow beneath them. It gave certain kills an added pleasure when being underestimated. Observation. Master, that was the lesson. Statement. Yes, Master. I must confess, I enjoy it when you are so authoritative and dismissive toward me. It bodes well for your treatment of our enemies. Query. Is there someone that you need killed, Master? Statement. Excellent. No doubt one of your allies has turned on you and needs to be dispatched. Which one is it? The annoying pilot? I certainly hope it is not the T3 unit. Destroying him would provide little challenge. It would be demeaning. Query. Is there someone that you need killed, Master? Statement. Observation. Well, Master, I was not at Malachor 5 during your near-genocidal reaction to the Mandalorian threat, but I feel that I may have been constructed.